Okay, let's see if this is working now. Okay, I believe it is working now. So welcome anyone, or everyone, to the stream. Whoever you are, welcome. Just doing that quick setup for the start of the stream here. Okay, so a couple of things. First off, we got a wandering trader that somehow just wandered in. I thought that they needed to be next to a village and that they would just wander in and out of villages, but maybe not. So we're gonna see what he has on him real quick. See if maybe we can do a little bit of trading. So he sells sea pickles, bucket of pufferfish. I'm actually not interested in any of this. I'd be most interested in sea pickles, but I know how to obtain those as well as the pufferfish, so I guess we will not worry about him there. Wait, did he just try and... What is he doing? Are you guys seeing how crazy this guy is? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a couple of things off real quick. And we're gonna grab this over here. Man, why is he going so crazy? I've never seen... What is this? I'm sorry, I'm just almost transfixed by this craziness that I am witnessing. He is absolutely insane. Oh boy. Oh, why is this so far behind? Here, just a second. Sorry, my setup computer that I use to respond to chat or even read chat is a little bit off from the current live stream. Why is it not? Oh, hello there, Boa. Welcome back to the stream. So, new home. Yes. I guess to explain, I kind of explained this in my last stream a little bit, but I can go ahead and explain it some more to you right now. I was kind of, I don't know. I guess how do I put this? So there are some new mechanics introduced in 1.14 that I didn't really have planned into the old base. And I've just been kind of getting that itch. I'm sure you've kind of felt it before in Minecraft, where you want to start like a new world or have something fresh, you know? And that's kind of what I was feeling. And I was honestly almost thinking about starting a new world, but I didn't stay on that train of thought for very long. It was like, okay, let's just go find a new area. And like, I'm not writing off going back into that old area at all. Like, of course I'm gonna keep what I have, because it would be stupid to lose all the stuff that I have. But I needed some pretty radical changes to be where I was happy in that old area, because of some of the new mechanics and things that they added in. So one thing that happened is that Guardian Farm... Oh boy, I'm sorry, this is kind of noisy. If you remember that Guardian Farm, the Guardian Farm actually became pretty worthless with this new update. Apparently something that they did within the new update, it totally cut down the rates. Here, we're actually going to go ahead and start over and build the thing over here real fast, and then I'll come back to this one. Anyway, so the Guardian Farm, which was my main XP farm. Like the main way that I even got my experience, you know, for like enchanting or repairing all my tools and stuff, that got nerfed super hard to where my rates, it went from, so I don't know the exact numbers of guardians, but I do know that it went from, if I was at 0, I could get about 20 levels, those first 20 levels, in one swing of my sword. Well, that changed to basically nothing at all. Like, I was not getting any experience. I wasn't able to repair my tools in any reasonable amount of time. And so, I mean, kind of a combination of everything. And then also feeling like, as much as I like that castle area, and I definitely am going to go back there, I kind of figured out some things with the villagers that I wanted to do differently in a more efficient way. But I feel like that area kind of got a little bit too big too fast, especially for the server that I have, and things started really slowing down. I was experiencing a lot of lag. And so yeah, it was kind of a hard decision. I hope you're not too mad, Boa, but yeah, it was kind of a hard decision there. So anyway, I mean, long story, it just was time to move on, and I needed a little bit of something different. So anyway, thank you for following Jill Gaming. Is that a Jill? Yeah, thank you for the follow. The basic plan right here is I am going to start building a new kind of XP farm, but it's going to be one that utilizes the whole furnace experience system. So I don't know how familiar anyone watching is with the whole idea of using furnaces to gain experience. But one of the new additions with the water update is they made it so that furnaces could store experience. And so basically, even if you have like items going into a hopper, previously if you had stuff going into a hopper you would have lost it, like lost the experience from those items. But now it gains it, which means that you can also burn enough in a furnace, I guess, or smelt enough. Probably smelt is the correct word. Anyway, you can smelt enough in a furnace now to actually make it to where that's a legitimate way to gain experience. Although it does require a fairly large farm with a lot of fuel. Now, I had not done that before, is because one, like trying to mine your fuel, like mining coal, or even having to harvest trees, that can be a little bit much for a fuel source. And plus, I don't like using wood for fuel, like, let's be honest. There's a lot better uses for wood than just burning it up in a furnace. But anyway, so instead what happened is the furnace-based XP farms that I'd seen before, they relied solely on kelp blocks. Now, the reason why I kind of steered away from kelp blocks is just because of how much work they are. Because you have to manually craft the kelp into a kelp block. So basically you burn the kelp, or you smelt the kelp, whatever, and then with smelted kelp you then have to, okay, is this almost, okay, so right here is going to be the next one. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the right dimensions for this while I'm talking. Anyway, But you have to smelt the kelp, and then you have to craft it into a kelp block, and then you can use that as a fuel source. Which, granted, it does last longer than most other types of fuel sources. But it just was not... I guess it was not enough of a difference from like coal and stuff that I was willing to spend all the time making an extremely complicated farm under the ocean to try and gather up kelp and stuff. But that goes into one of my earlier streams a few days ago. I went looking for bamboo. Now bamboo, as far as I understand it, has the fastest growth rate of any block in the game. And you can burn it directly. So you can either turn it into sticks or just burn it directly. I will be burning it directly. I've already had another test back at the spawn castle. And basically I had a very inefficient farm. Like I was losing probably a third to a half of all the kelp that, or not the kelp, of all the bamboo that grew. And I was still receiving kelp at about 700, is a little over 700 every 15 minutes, 700 bamboo shoots every 15 minutes. So I'm going to try and maximize that out a little bit. And then hopefully it will be even faster. But the cactus farms that I had working with it, at that rate that we're not keeping up was, oh shoot, I don't even know how many cactus. It was 4 layers tall, 3 wide, and about probably 15 or 20 long minimum. So it was producing at a reasonable rate for a cactus farm, but cactus just grows so much slower that it's hard to keep up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start a small bamboo farm just so I can have like infinite fuel for a furnace array, because I'm going to be building the cactus farms, but I'm going to be needing a lot of glass, and probably I'm going to use some smooth stone because I'm really liking that smooth stone texture, and it looks really clean and stuff. So anyway, I will be building like a small bamboo farm to start off with, then some big cactus farms, and once the big cactus farms are ready and they're producing, then I'm going to try and build a bamboo farm that goes just a little bit faster and has some overflow so I can gather up extra bamboo for other purposes if I need them, as far as like scaffolding or other things that actually use bamboo. But yeah, so coming back to that, I am going to build a nether portal out here and try and link it back up to the former nether portal system, and probably clean up the current nether portal tunnel. But that's going to be once I'm a little bit further along in this area. So that's definitely going to happen. It's going to be connected back to the old base to where hopefully I can fly in between the two. I'm also hoping, so I think, Bo, I might have told you before about my video card having a hard time keeping up with streaming and Minecraft at the same time. So I've been having issues with that. I actually crashed it earlier today just even trying to get out to my current location. Like I crashed the entire server, not even just my computer disconnecting me. And that was after my computer disconnected me multiple times. Okay, so I'm sure you've noticed this diamond. I'm finally going to mine it, but I wanted to mine around it first just to make sure there was no lava underneath, because I do not want to lose a single diamond here. And this is Fortune 3 pickaxe. Let's see how many diamonds we can get. There's 6 diamond blocks here. There's a small chance that we can get more than 1 per each thing, so we got 15. So that's a good amount. I will gladly take the extra 9 diamonds. Okay, we're gonna do this now. What I'm doing here is I'm just setting up a whole extra set of beacons, because I'm going to need to be clearing out a lot of this area. And I will be using this underside here as a mine just for all of the materials that I need, as far as stone or redstone or, you know, some of those other things that you can get down here, gravel even. So I'm just getting it set up with beacons to hopefully cover the entire area of the building. And then as well, once it is all dug out and everything, then I can change it over to stuff that will be useful once I have the building going. So in a stream this morning was when I actually discovered this area that I'm building in. This area is a mushroom biome, which I've actually never built in before. I've only ever found 1 or 2 mushroom islands, and I don't know, I just was never able to start a base on a mushroom island. One of the interesting things about it is that they are free from hostile mob spawns. That's why this isn't lit up and there's still not any skeletons or anything spawning. In the areas that push out towards the ocean, they do spawn, so I'm still having to be a little bit careful. But I'm just not having to worry as much about any mobs appearing. Anyway, so what I did is I chose a fairly central location on the island to build what is going to be the Cactus Farm towers. I'll probably turn it into like some kind of modern town kind of look. Anyway, so this is the map right here that shows just a small area. If I hop on over to where... Here, let me drop off some of these items. Looks like I'll need to build some more chests as well. I'm just kind of building chests as I go because I'm not exactly sure where all this stuff is going to end up at. So I don't really want to build anything extra that I'm just going to be taking down in a little bit anyway once I have an actual base built. Anyway. Okay, we'll keep that iron on me. We'll keep this. The diamonds we can go ahead and put in the diamond chest, which is this one. See if we can get that up to a full 3 stacks. As you notice, this is pretty empty. It's because I have most of the stuff either right here or as well spaced out at my temporary home on this little mini island here. And I went ahead and built a thing that has a map of the entire island here. So the square is here in the center, like the very center of the island. I actually like how it looks within the map, right? So you can see the entire island here within the map. So it lines up nicely in the map. You can also see that there's a desert nearby, which was just an added bonus that it's directly next to it because I'm going to be using a lot of glass and probably a lot of concrete. So having that sand so accessible is just, it's awesome. I don't know how I got that lucky having a mushroom biome next to a desert. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead. I have no idea what is going on with this guy. He's just been running around like a crazy person every time I see him. And I did already check his trades. He did not have any trades I was interested in. So I'm just going to leave him for a little bit. I don't think I can actually do anything. Oh, I can ride the llamas. Oh, cool. Maybe not. Can I not fully... That would be interesting if I could go ahead and domesticate these. Huh, is that my llama now? Because if this is a way that I can get llamas, then I could just breed these to get normal llamas, right? I'm sorry, I was kind of talking about what I was actually doing with the, what I was doing with the build here, but then I just had that random thought of, can I actually use this? Because I don't think the villager can be used for anything at all. But the llamas I might be able to do something with. Let's see if I have... You know, real quick while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna hurry and get some leads and just make a little temporary holding pen, just in case they can be bred and used, and we'll just see how it all works. Sorry, I'm not really sure what chest I have anything in right now, because this is all just a pretty random storage system. It is not here, it looks like. And that means that it's probably back over by the llamas, ironically. Yeah, I didn't see any leads, and they would have been in one of these that I was thinking, so otherwise it's going to be back over there. Yeah, so I don't see the trader villager anymore, but the llamas are still here. Okay, well I guess I have strings so I could make some leads, but I thought that I had a shulker somewhere with leads in it. Maybe not? Huh, that's interesting. Okay, let's just make one then. Oh great, I'm getting a little bit of server lag here. Okay, what is it like? I think that should be enough, and did I not bring the one with the... Oh, I have some slime blocks here, good. Oh, looks like that's left over. I'll go ahead and set that back in there. And it actually made 2, so... Oh, hello, White Dog. Looks like I have some people coming in and out right now. Dadushka. That is what we decided my Russian name was in Counter-Strike yesterday. Just for a little bit of context there. Boa. Oh boy, okay. Okay, so we'll see if the llamas will happily live in this hole for the time being. Because if I can breed them, then that could be kind of fun. I just need to get some more, like a way to get hay a little easier before I just start wasting hay bales on llamas. Let's see what we have here. Okay, back to work. Oh, one of the fun things that I did here is, if you remember back at the... Oh, poop, I missed it. I need to fix the tunnel, but you don't take any damage as long as you land on the slime blocks. And so I'm gonna kind of fix this tunnel down the center here so that I can just jump down into the area that I'm trying to get to. And I did not actually finish the entire thing here. Now for a temporary XP farm, I actually did find a skeleton spawner. So within this entire mushroom biome, as far as I know, I can only kill hostile mobs there at the skeleton spawner because it's the only place that they can spawn. So I may turn it into a small XP farm, but it's just not going to get anything at the rates that I actually need. And I also have so many tools that I think I may not even need the mending ability until I'm actually further along than where I'd be building the skeleton spawner. So I don't know. Like, I'll probably use it because I don't want to waste it, but it might be... I don't know, it just might turn it into something a little more interesting than just a little XP farm. Especially since it's just the one by itself. There's not any other monster spawners as far as I could tell that I've seen. I don't know, maybe when I open it up I'll find some more, but... yeah, as of right now I haven't seen anything else. Well, I'm just going to be working on this for the next little while. Once I get all of these the beacons in. Sorry, I'm like trying to talk and think at the same time and it is not going well. Anyway, once I get all the beacons in, I'm going to go ahead and just start trying to make sure that I have enough redstone components for the bamboo farm. And I'm still trying to decide exactly how to do that. The pistons that I was using before were leading to loss. Now I've also seen someone do a bamboo farm, but with flying machines, although I have never actually made flying machines. And I would have to take some time researching into that to try and figure out how they even work. Because mainly they work by using slime pistons, like the slime block pistons, whatever you'd call them, that can stick, or sticky pistons. Is that what they are, sticky pistons? I don't remember the exact name. Anyway, they use the fact that pistons can push or pull up to like 12 blocks, and then put those basically to where they work in tandem to actually move some slime blocks through the air so that you can create what is basically a flying machine with redstone components that work on it. And it's only possible, as far as I know, because of observers, because the observers are basically what you're using to do the redstone output. So, you know, they detect and also put out the redstone signal. Anyway, I have not actually built one of those before. That is the only way that I know that you can make like 100% lossless system. But with that as well, one of the other things is just that then you also have to have some way to collect all of the materials from underneath, because it's just flying over, so the items fall on the ground. And the way that I've seen that is by powered rails, like basically just having strings of powered rails. And I do not have the luxury of a gold farm yet on this server. I actually tried to build one in the past, but I did not know how to break through the top of the end. And the only way to make them to where they're usable as an XP farm and highly efficient is to actually break through the roof of the end, or not the end, the nether. And if you can make it through the top of the nether, it's actually flat up above and you can keep on building like on the overworld. And so if you can somehow break the bedrock, make it through, then you can go ahead and build the farm up there, and then only zombie pigmen are there, because you can make it so that no gas can spawn or anything, so that you get the complete efficiency that you need. It is, yeah, complicated. The trick, I have not seen an actual tutorial online of how to actually break the bedrock in survival Minecraft. Like, I've seen a couple of videos do it. I've seen one with Exumavoid on the Hermitcraft server, or Nimbomb on the Psycraft server. They've both done it in video. But it requires a really complicated setup of pistons in specific ways that you have to do and then undo, and then there's finally a way that you can break through it, and you can only break one block, so you also have to find a spot where the bedrock is only one thick, I guess, one deep. Anyway, it's a little bit more technical than I want to get, and I mean, even though it's technically doable in survival Minecraft, it uses some pretty crazy Minecraft wizardry, kind of pushing along the levels of item teleportation. Or another fun one that I've seen before is Nether Portals that do not have obsidian blocks on the bottom, so that you can transport mobs through them and they just fall directly out instead of having a place to stand within the portal. But that one, if you want to know how to do that, because it's also pretty crazy madness. I did not activate these beacons at all. Let me hurry and do that, and maybe I can get a little bit of benefit from them. The way that you do that is actually by overloading the game. And so they had to place like 2,500 banners on each of the bottom 2 obsidian blocks of the Nether portal, and basically what you do is you just overwhelm it so much that the game just doesn't register that it needs to kill the portal because the obsidian block is gone, because there's so many other block updates happening because of all the banners. And the video that I saw of someone doing that, they said that it took them like 5 hours of placing banners or 5 hours total, so probably making and placing and then like almost crashing the server to break it all, right? So as fun as it sounds to do, I really don't think that's going to happen anywhere soon on this server. I don't know, maybe I say that now and then I'll get the crazy idea that I actually need that for some reason. Anyway. Is there any talking points that you would like to hear me talk about concerning Minecraft, life? I think I'll stay away from religion or politics, but I am open to talking about something else if you want to hear me talking about something specific there. And as far as other random things, I am going to try and work out an actual schedule for my streaming. But lately I've just been kind of having to take opportunities where I can. So my wife has actually, she took Parker to a piano recital of her sister's. And is now spending the time after, I believe, with her family just for a bit. So... is there any new... okay. Anyway, so that's why I'm streaming right now, is an opportunity for me to get some work done here on my server. Oh, and one fun kind of heads up is that I actually managed to get a Trident today in game on stream, which I am super pumped about. I have been trying. I wanted to get a Trident legitimately before I built any kind of what are they called now? Drowned farms. So I have seen drowned farms in the past, and really they just require a villager trapped in a cage underwater and left there in an ocean that is pretty like flattened out and stuff. So you have to do some work preparing the ocean and things, but it is doable. Oh shoot, I can't tell the difference between where they are. Okay, so I need it on this one. It's just obsidian has such a uniform texture that it's hard to tell the distinction in between the obsidian blocks. Anyway. Got a little bit of free obsidian out of this too. Okay. What was I saying there now? Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. Trying to think through my train of thought now. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just trying to get a schedule for my streaming. But at the moment, yeah, I'm just really just taking opportunities where I get them to stream. Looks like we are getting pretty dang close. I don't think that I get any of the beacon effect, but it looks like it's pretty close, so I can dip into it to use it for a second to... Well, I guess I'm kind of wasting it on the dirt here. But anyway, it does look like I can dip into it for just a second to make sure that I can keep it going. Does it show? I don't think I can scroll over it anyway. Okay. I was just trying to see if it shows a time limit on it. Because if I have that beacon effect going, I can just about insta-mine. Which, you know, it speeds it up just a little bit faster to make this a little bit more bearable for anyone watching. And plus, it just sounds so much cooler when you're insta-mining, right? Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be making one thing that would be useful in the chat, but I was kind of fielding some ideas earlier about ideas for the type of design for the build. People were kind of leaning towards a more modern construction. So if that is interesting to you, it would be interesting to hear since you've been pretty consistent at watching the streams. Or if there's something else you want. I did have one idea to build Mother Russia. And I definitely wouldn't be opposed to building, is it like St. Peter's Basilica or something like that? It's got the big onion tops in Russia. I think that one looks pretty cool. And I would definitely be willing to try that style of architecture because I haven't really seen that from anyone that I've watched. But... oh boy. Okay, let me hurry and go clear out some of these items. And then I will be right back to finish that last thing there. Oh, and definitely the new lighting option with lanterns. I'm going to try and take advantage of that. And I've also finally seen online a first viable working iron farm. But it requires around 200 villagers to have any kind of reasonable speed. And that would probably just about kill my server. So I'm kind of steering away from that at the moment. But I might consider doing something like that in the near future. I don't know, I'm just trying to decide how big of a server upgrade I actually need to get things to work out better for the streams. I don't know, I had a moment earlier today where I was pulling almost the entire 6 gigs of RAM that I had available on my computer. And normally my computer only uses about 1 gig of RAM. And it just got really dark here. Anyway, normally my computer uses only about 1 gig of the available 6. So, I don't know. I'm trying to decide. The server itself is at 1 gig right now, but I can up it for not too much, so I might do that just to try and help out the streams here. Oh man, I'm clearing out so many of these beacons. I'm gonna need to go collect some other skeleton heads sometime in the future. The only thing with that is one of the most boring things you could ever do. Because you're going back and forth, just waiting to finally find the right wither skeleton that drops his head for you. And sometimes you get lucky, like I had a couple of times where I got 2 wither skeleton heads at a time, just from the same group of withers. But then there are other times I'd get like a group of 20 wither skeletons and not be able to get like anything at all. Now there is another whole idea of actually being able to transport withers, and so this is something crazy that I've heard of, but I haven't actually seen. But I want to try it out, and that is using... So you can get an enchantment on a Trident to call down a thunderbolt, kind of like Thor. And with that thunderbolt, if you use it to hit a creeper, you can then make a charged creeper. And as far as I understand, if you kill a wither skeleton with a charged creeper, there's a guarantee of that wither skeleton dropping its skull. So it would be a lot of setup, because I'd have to find a fortress somewhere nearby, somehow transport the wither skeletons out into the overworld, and then manage to hit a creeper with a bolt of lightning, and then save him until I can get him to explode next to the wither skeletons. But I definitely think it would be worth it, and it'd probably even be fun just trying to figure out to see if I can get a charged creeper. That would be an experience in of itself. So, another one of those random things that I still want to try in Minecraft. It's amazing how many of those things there are, of the things that I want to try in Minecraft eventually. You know what, while I'm thinking about it, I have water sources here, but I want to make one that's just a little permanent water source, so that if I remove any of the other ones, I don't have to go running a super long way for the water that I need. So let's just build it right there. Why not? Just keep things simple, right? It's small enough that I can move it pretty easy if I want, but... Where's the mycelium at? There we go. Okay, so that is the area collected. So now I need to go ahead and make a bunch of pistons. I did get a decent amount of redstone, so I might go ahead and collect just a little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and start actually building this base. Start building our new home. I wish I could see who is actually watching the stream, because I can't even tell who it is that I have still watching right now. I kind of like to try and keep it going as like some kind of chat, but I don't know, I guess eventually once I get enough people watching, then I'm not ever going to be able to address them in person, but I think it's at least something fun to try and do right now. Anyway. I feel like I'm just saying anyway a lot, because I keep on just having these random little things that I can talk about, but then I have to change subject and I don't know any good transitionary phrases. Maybe you could put that in the chat. What's something that you use to change a topic without making it sound awkward? Maybe I could start using that. You could be responsible for me being a more functional human being. I don't know, maybe I just need to be like a politician and just act like I know what I'm talking about. And just change the subject subtly if anyone ever asks me any questions or anything. Maybe that would make me more successful as a streamer. Because people still somehow seem to like politicians, even though they're probably not the best people in general. Anyway, I said I'd try and stray away from politics, though, so I'm going to stop that thought there. Okay, well, how about... I'm gonna just start opening up some little feeder tunnels, and we'll see if we get lucky and find any more redstone. Man, is this entire thing just covered in lava? I mean, I've already covered over quite a good bit of lava, and I'm just still finding so much more lava. Now, I purposely dug this down to y equals 11 just to up my chances of finding diamond, because this is the best level to find diamonds on. So there's a small chance that I could get lucky and find diamonds here while I'm doing stuff. I'm not going to count on it, but I am hoping that I can get lucky, so I'll probably mine out this entire level and then maybe move it down a little bit. And I also am curious to see if I get any slimes that ever spawn once I have enough area cleared. Because I don't know if technically slimes, I'm assuming they're considered a hostile mob, right? But I don't know if the mycelium keeps them from spawning or not, like just the very fact that I'm in a mushroom biome. So, some of those things that I just don't know yet, and I'm interested to find out. Let's get a little more light going over here. I'm honestly not being nearly as thorough about my lighting as I'd normally be, but just because of the security of the mushroom biome. But I do still need to see, so if it weren't for that, I'd probably just live in a cave that was completely dark. So if you do want to hear any other kinds of music, or can you even hear the music? I did have some issues earlier where I ended up learning after the fact that no one could hear any sound in my stream. And I didn't know until after I was basically done with the stream, or a good part of the way through it. But anyway, if you do like the music or you can hear the music, if you could let me know that you can hear it going. If you want a change of music, if you want something a little more, I don't know, questy, Lord of the Rings-ish, maybe. Could see that working for a Minecraft stream a little bit. Let's see, let's drop the coal for a moment. Now, one of the other things I could think about doing is actually turning that bottom thing into a slime block launcher just to get me airborne. Senchoporo, being a stay-at-home dad, I think it would really depend on your personality. And I don't want that to be a flaky question, but for me, probably one of the hardest things is I have a kid in diapers still, and I do not like dealing with poop. Like, when my wife and I first got married, we agreed that I was going to wash the dishes and she was going to change all the diapers, and that never quite happened from the get-go, but it definitely like now that I'm basically stay at home, then I change all of the diapers from about when he wakes up to almost when he goes to bed. Like sometimes I get lucky if my wife is off work a little bit early that I don't have to change all the diapers. But yeah, so there's that aspect of it. Like if you have kids, then, which I mean, I guess that's what you would have if you're a stay-at-home dad. Anyway, so there's that aspect. Now for me, I probably don't mind cooking or cleaning as much as other select people. So I actually I have nearly 7 years experience working in kitchens. When I was 14, I got a job working as a dishwasher. And then when I was 18, I graduated to being a cook at a steakhouse. And so I grew up cooking, like with my family and stuff, and then I worked as a cook. And then after, like just before I got married, I actually worked as a cook as well. But that time it was in a fancy retirement home. And thank you for the ice cream, Centroporo. Awesome, thank you very much. Anyway, sorry, before I lose my train of thought, so I worked at a retirement home that was basically a fancy retirement home that did all the cooking and cleaning and everything for these people. And I was cooking for there's just over 100 residents, but I had to cook an entree, a chef's choice, which was another entree, and then like a third option that was like a vegetarian version. And so basically I was cooking 3 entrees plus the sides for the entrees and a dessert every night after working the lunch shift as well, like just as like a helper cook for the lunch. On top of a soup as well, like I always had to do a soup to start out every dinner. But anyway, so I just got to where like cooking for myself at home, it's really not that bad at all. Like, I don't know. So, I mean, there's the aspects of it that I don't mind too much. An elder hotel, kind of. Yeah, I think it's actually, I don't know, it was called, so the one I worked at was Sugar Valley, but it was like part of this was like a franchise in a bigger retirement community that I never would have heard of otherwise. That was like Holiday Retirement or something. So they have places like in a lot of major cities across the entire northern US. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't a place that actually had so it's not a nursing home, so all the people took care of themselves. But they did have an emergency cord, like 3 of them per guest area, like guest room or whatever, that they could ring that would call an ambulance for them. And because they were old people, we did have ambulances probably at least one every time I was there. Which, not all of them are people dying, like some of them are just like a fall or I don't know, the other things that just happen to people that are well past their prime. We did have one of the more interesting residents that we had there was either the nephew, I think it was the nephew of Helen Keller. Hello there, Gwiz, welcome to the stream. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, there, just frown. So Helen Keller, like with the stories that you hear about her, like being blind and like doing all that stuff and living the life that she lived, I always imagine that she'd be like a fairly nice person. But if you've ever seen anything on when Helen Keller was young and not able to communicate and so she's kind of mean, that's kind of how her nephew and his wife's sister were. Because they had that was another fun thing about it, is that the nephew lived not only with his wife but also his wife's sister in the same room. And don't ask me how that arrangement worked out. But yeah, anyway. And he was an old dude too, like he was already past like 100 or something. Like he was a centennial kind of guy. Oh, looks like we got some more diamonds here. How big of a thing is this? So, one of the things that I learned with Minecraft was just to always be very careful around diamonds, mine out all the blocks around them. Anyway. Yeah, just this random diamond tangent. Let's go ahead and gather these. The last one I had just a little bit earlier, it was 6 blocks of diamonds. And I managed to get an entire 15 out of them because I have a Fortune 3 pickaxe. Let's go ahead and see how many you get out of this one. 6. So got 2 more than diamond blocks. That's not bad. Anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend ever working in an old retirement village like that. Like, old people, one of the things that I learned is, and I'm sure like I've heard people make the comparison before, that it was like when it comes to old people's faces, that if they were a nice old face then they kind of get that old person happy look on their face, but if they were a miserable person they get like a permanent scowl. And I would say that I do tend to believe that that is true with some of the people. But the other thing is that some of the people are just, like, they're past the point of actually caring if anyone likes them anymore. And so some of them are like completely... I don't know. They were old people in good health, so it wasn't always like I was just waiting for them to die immediately. But anyway, they were very demanding just because of their age. And I mean, like, I had a cookie bar that I had to keep stocked. And that thing was always cleared out, and you'd see the old people just come up and they'd grab like a napkin, fill it clear full of cookies, and then just run off with it. Yeah, I don't think I could work in medicine either. Blood doesn't gross me out, but I hate the smell of, like, especially being a dentist, when they cut your tooth and you can smell that like cutting into bone smell. I feel like that's the worst smell on earth. Like, or one of the worst ones that's not involving a dead, decaying body or something. Anyway. Yeah, some of the old people were really nice though. Like, I had one old guy that he was just telling me about like his life experiences and about how he'd been married and like his wife and his kids and stuff. And I got married while I was working there. And after I told him that I got married, every time I saw him, he'd give me like this big wink because he knew what married people do. It was like it was somewhat embarrassing, but somewhat just like funny because of how inappropriate he was, that he was just always like kind of bringing that up every time I saw him. But I still kind of laugh about that guy. It bummed me out. Like, he was the only one that I legitimately missed from that job. And it was just because of how awesome he was. But yeah, who knows if he's even still alive now. I mean, he was probably in his late 80s, early 90s at the point that I knew him, so. And it's been, oh shoot, how long has it been? Like almost 3 years since I worked there now, at least. Yeah, so I didn't work there long enough for any of them to ever know that I had kids. Yeah, there was one other old couple that was super cute. That the lady had a hard time walking, and instead of getting her a wheelchair, they pushed her around on one of those like walker chair thingies. So the husband used a walker, so he would just push her on his walker that had a seat on it. Anyway, they were kind of a cute old couple. Like, that was like old people goals right there, you know. Okay, well, I think we may have enough redstone now at this point. I'm going to go ahead and check our supplies. But we may be ready to start making up some pistons and getting the stuff ready. I probably do want to get some glass, though. So let me go ahead. While I'm thinking about it, I need to make some of these furnaces start chugging along. These are going to get moved just as soon as this farm gets built, because this farm that I'm building is going to require furnaces, and it's going to give me like an infinite supply of fuel. So honestly, I probably don't even need that many, but we'll go ahead and just get things ready for that. Let's see. I think I'm almost to full 4 stacks in here, just a little bit more. I think this is the most legitimate diamonds I've ever had in a game. I mean, when I first got the game, there was some kind of duplication glitch that you could use. And it was like I don't even remember how old I was exactly, like 12, 13 probably, somewhere in there. I used the duplication glitch to like duplicate obsidian and gold and diamonds. And that is the fastest way to kill a game, is by cheating in it. Like, you'd think that it's so fun, like, oh, like I'm in survival, but I have all the inventory basically of a creative game. And you just get that feeling that it's not earned, right? So I don't know, it almost gives you more of a dirty feeling because you know that you didn't do it legitimately. Anyway, so the most legitimate diamonds that I've had, though. Is that an Obi-Wan Kenobi? He's got, is that a yellow lightsaber? He totally reminds me of Obi-Wan Kenobi, even though Obi-Wan Kenobi never wore a mask or a hood or anything. I don't know. Who's your favorite Jedi? I mean, I would think that mine is Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequels, because the old Obi-Wan Kenobi is kinda senile. But he's still even pretty good for those later movies. But who's your favorite Jedi? Put it in the comments, let me know. Or maybe you like the Sith more. I mean, that's another discussion right there, is whether or not the Sith are better than the Jedi. Which honestly, with the Jedi's honor code, I tend to lean towards the Sith a little bit. Just because the Jedi are like, nope, you can't love or have any familial connections. Like, just that alone, it's like, yeah, that would keep me from being a Jedi. I think it's stupid, and I think it's the entire reason why Anakin goes dark, is because he can't have a family, and he's the kind of person that would want one. Yeah. Or you could even mention if you like the new Star Wars movies. Honestly, I haven't watched one since The Force Awakens, so I haven't seen The Last Jedi yet. I think I'll probably see it at some point. But with the price that I've seen, it did not seem worth it to me to spend the money on like a $20, I don't know, but Star Wars movies in general are still expensive because that's what Disney likes to do to their movies, right? They just make them hard to get access to them, and then you just, yeah. I don't know. I do think probably if they're on Disney's new streaming service, then that's when I'll watch them. Because I think as far as streaming services are concerned, then my wife loves Disney movies too much and they're too kid-friendly for me to not want to get it, you know? Especially since they're not going to be available on like Netflix or anything after Disney gets their streaming service going. But yeah, anyway. So I don't know about any of the new Jedis really, like Rey or... Does Finn ever become a Jedi? I'm pretty sure I remember that he supposedly uses a lightsaber somewhere, but... I don't know. Some of the stuff that I heard about The Last Jedi is kind of weird. And just some of the things that I heard in the reviews about how they treated Luke's character. I just don't know if it quite fit Luke's character, and I don't know if they quite, like even when I saw The Last Jedi, or not The Last Jedi, The Return of the Jedi, I don't know if they quite fit like how I would have imagined even like Han Solo or Leia being. I don't know. Like, they did okay with the characters, but it just didn't feel like it was dead on for the characters. You know what I mean? I don't know, not in the same way that I feel like the prequels actually... And that just might be me being from the generation that grew up with the prequels. But I do feel like the prequels did it justice. And I mean, when the prequels... Yeah, they did do Luke dirty. Probably one of my favorite parts of the prequels was when Yoda was fighting Count Dooku. And yes, they did Han very dirty. I never got Kylo Ren's motivations either. But yeah, so Yoda fighting Count Dooku, that's one of the, like, best fights in my opinion. But yeah, as far as how they treated Han and stuff, like, I mean, I never understood Kylo Ren's motivations. It's like, oh, your grandpa sacrificed himself for the good in the end, even after he'd been a bad guy. And then his whole thing from that is that I need to be evil. You know, like, what's the motivation there, Kylo? I mean, I totally understand that, like, Anakin, like, yeah, the dark side tried to give him what he thought that the light side couldn't give him. But I also feel like if they would have not been so tight with, like, allowing relationships and stuff, then, I don't know, it just makes a more compelling movie anyway, too. Like, when your hero has familial connections, like, could you imagine if Superman had no family at all? Like, what would Superman's motivations be to even do anything? Like, because no one could abuse him, and if he didn't feel love for earthly women, you know, for, what's her name? Lois Lane, there we go. Took me a minute, because I'm not a huge DC fan. But Superman's just like the most overpowered character that I can think of. And yeah, if you didn't have a relationship where someone else could be harmed, then there's no way that you'd ever be worried about Superman dying, right? Like, it's not like Iron Man where he's still human, or Ant-Man, or like a good portion of the Marvel characters. And I mean, even the ones that are overpowered, like Thor, he's super powerful because he's an Asgardian. So they do kind of throw that in a little bit more, that his girlfriend's in danger. Or Hulk. I mean, but even Hulk, you have the more intriguing stuff about how, you know, how Hulk is conflicted with his anger issues. Or that Thor is conflicted with being a leader and being a good leader, because he, like in the first movie, he doesn't know how to be a good leader, right? And he's just kind of a jerk all around. But then after he kind of learns that better, then he still has, I don't know, some other interesting character things going on between him and Loki, and I don't know. As far as Endgame, now that I'm kind of talking about Marvel, have not seen it yet. Probably will wait until it comes out on DVD, honestly. Because I kind of fell off the Marvel bandwagon when I was in Mexico. Before that, I'd seen every movie religiously. Like, multiple times. I think when Thor came out, I probably watched it 3 times that first week that it came out on DVD. I love that movie so much. But, yeah, after that, kind of... Like, I went to Mexico in 2013, and it was just never the same afterwards. And I kind of fell out of the whole... I don't know, it was fun to grow up with, like, Iron Man and stuff. Because Iron Man still came out when I was pretty young, and Iron Man, I think, is arguably my favorite Avenger still to this day. Even though Guardians of the Galaxy, like, some of their stuff, those movies are just incredible. But, anyway. Yeah, I spent a couple years in Mexico, and it was just never quite the same when I came home. TV in general, though, like, I came home and I almost started exclusively watching YouTube. And then after YouTube, like, after I stopped watching YouTube so much, then I started watching, Amazon Prime, which, you know, came along with the deals for Amazon shipping and Amazon Music, and they had a pretty good selection of movies for cheaper, because I'm, you know, I was a college student, so it's just like I got discounts. So it was like, why not do it, you know? I have a bunch of streaming services, and I have one that is honestly very livable. Like, I still watch most of the stuff on there. I mean, they had Star Trek: The Next Generation. For that alone, Amazon Prime was worth it. Even though I'm not sponsored or have ever been sponsored by anyone. Holy cow, where did you guys come from? I guess I have some attackers. Let's see if I can sleep and get rid of them real quick. Because I really just don't feel like dealing with them. I was dealing with them earlier, but trying to deal with those guys on stream is just a pain in the butt. Anyway. Let's go ahead and replace the shovel. So I'm making glass. I'm trying to think of if I should color any of the glass. I kind of don't think so. I think I'll leave it where I'm at right now. So just have a minute for all the glass to burn. That is gonna probably be enough to repair some of my tools. But I'm just gonna try and take it a little bit at a time. Let's go ahead and plop this down over here, I guess. And I need to start thinking of how I'm gonna do this. So real quick test. One thing that I do need to figure out is which one is going to be able to push a bamboo stick further. Because what I'm hoping to do is just launch that bamboo into a water stream where it will actually be collected thoroughly. So let's go ahead. I don't have switches for some reason. How do you make a switch? Is it cobblestone and a stick, I think? Should be pretty simple, right? Yeah, there we go. Cobblestone and a stick. So let's make a couple of those. And I need a little bit of that bamboo that I had somewhere. Just a little bit. Now it should be as simple as putting one there, one there. Put a little here. Actually, I should break them apart. We'll see which one goes further. And then just one piece of redstone and one lever behind each one. Because all we're going to do is put up some bamboo. Well, that's good to know it grows on mycelium. How far is that along? Okay, let's grab just a little bit more bamboo so I don't have to wait to do this. Even though it grows like super fast, it's just... Okay, this is going to be a very scientific test, guys. So I'm going to break that, and let's see if one went further than the other. Not at all. Absolutely no difference. Now, let's say I move this back a little bit. And I put a, does that still work? Yeah. Let's say I put a slime block on there. Oh, which, this one, here we go. Now holy cow, I am so bad at Minecraft. Let's see if the slime block launches it further. Just for comparison, we'll go ahead and do this one again. Thank you for the follow, I swallow. Oh, I'm not gonna quite finish that name there. You almost got me. I'm just gonna call you Ice. Thank you for the follow, Ice. Okay, so that is just a little bit... Did that break both of them? Wait, why did that break both of them? Okay, let's go ahead and try that again. Oh, the slime block was moving the mycelium. Okay, so we need to remove that. That confused me there for a second. Oh, that launched it clearing the heck out there. Holy cow. Okay, so... Well, that's good to know. Now... I just need to make sure that that actually works on a T flip-flop. So let's go ahead and I'm going to grab a few more pistons. I need a redstone repeater, so it looks like I'm going to need to make a few more materials real quick. Let's just do 2 stacks of 64 because I'm going to need a few repeaters here. I don't mind having some extras. Oh, and I need quartz as well. I think I had quartz somewhere in one of my boxes. Let's make sure. If not, I may need to make another portal real fast and hurry and hop over to the Nether for the rest of those ingredients. And Ice, with a name like that, that's kind of... It's like streamer bait, just waiting to get him. I don't know if that's why you named yourself that, or if you just really enjoy that activity, but... Okay, looks like I do not have any... Okay, so I'm going to have to put pause on this for a second because I need a repeater to be able to make that T flip-flop. So I'm going to need just a little bit of quartz, not a lot, but enough. So let's go ahead and just put those redstone components back. I'll put this back for the time being. And I need to go harvest a tiny bit more obsidian because I need at least 10 blocks of it. Let's go ahead and just hop on down and we'll go gather up some obsidian real quick. So the T flip-flop is basically, I don't know if you guys know exactly what a T flip-flop is, but it's just a super simple redstone contraption that you can use to detect block updates. So I don't know a lot of redstone. The T flip-flop is one of the few bits of redstone components that I do understand how to make. Although that is not saying that I'm going to get it right the first time. I'm just going to put that out as a disclaimer because I really don't know if I will have it right immediately. But anyway, so I'm going to use that to detect the block updates. Now it may not work. It probably won't work because of the fact that I want to use slime blocks, but I'm just going to go ahead and give it a try and see. And maybe what I'll do is just have... Can I do that stagger? It probably won't even work now that I'm thinking about how it's set up, but... You know, let's go ahead and gather just 3 more. Because that will give me an even 20, so I can make 1 more nether portal if I need to. Okay. So I'll go ahead and put 9 of that back in here. Put that back in. Is this stuff done? Okay, it's almost done. And now... I don't think I do have any of that stuff over here, so... I guess I'll just make it back over here where I have a flint and steel. This is legitimately the only reason I ever use flint and stills is for making a nether portal, so... I guess occasionally when I want to burn down a forest, you know, but that urge is just not that frequent. Let's go ahead and do... I'm really tempted to do it 3 blocks wide, but you know what I'll do instead? It's just because of how that looks behind it. I can just do that and then it sits nicely. I usually, so early game, like when I very first start a world, I generally actually use lava and water buckets, and I don't even have a diamond pickaxe to gather obsidian. And so you just kind of build up a little frame and do it 1 block at a time. You know, just like a little frame out of dirt or sand or whatever you want. Okay, so this is loading up a new bit of the nether, so I'm actually going to hurry and grab this coordinate. Because I'm going to want to link this up to my current nether system so I can link it back up to my spawn castle and stuff. Okay, so let's go find some quartz real quick. Great thing about the nether is there's quartz everywhere, right? If I use quartz to build, I'd probably need it more, but where I'm going to be using it mainly for redstone components, then I'm just not going to have to try too hard to gather up as much as I need. It's amazing how much slower it is on quartz or iron blocks even when you have efficiency 5. I mean, like that right there, that's enough that I can even gather up all the netherrack if I wanted to. Just because of how deep it went immediately. Hello, hi lass. not exactly sure how to even pronounce what you're saying right there in chat, but welcome to the stream. Okay. I may even have enough with just that little bit that was right there to finish out the redstone components that I need for the time being. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hop back to the mycelium island. Oh my, the server lag. This is when it's most visible, is right there, just waiting for that. So let's take, sure we'll toss it there, put the extra there, and I think I'll just use 2 stacks of that. And I believe I got this from here. Okay, so now we should have plenty of repeaters, so I can go ahead and actually build this farm. Oh wait, no, that's a comparator. What am I missing for a repeater? Let's look at the recipe book real fast. Oh, redstone dust. So I didn't even need the... Holy cow, I'm a retard. I didn't even need the quartz, but I guess I have quartz now, so I can make stuff with quartz if I need it. Let's go ahead and toss that up in. Okay. So now back to the T-flip-flop. Oh, thank you for the donation, Edgy name 69. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so yeah, as I showed just a second ago, it was launching the stuff way further with the slime block, but I am trying to figure out if a T-flip-flop will actually do that. Like if it will actually work in that with the slime block on it, I guess. Anyway, so the normal setup, you know what, I need a redstone block as well. Which I do not have, so let's just make one. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. And do this. Now I'm just trying to think of the setup underneath. So what you do is a sticky piston. Next to it you're going to have a normal piston chain as long as it can go for. And then on here you have that. I need to actually grab like some stone or something real fast to put stuff on. Because then right here we're going to have 1, 2, I believe one on the side there. Or is it? No, it's not on the side. Okay. So right here, then up. And then we go up the top here. Okay. So then when we go ahead and put this stuff down, we can put that down. And then the repeater. And that should be enough to have it do the block updates now. So now, for example, when I go ahead and put down a piece of stone here, you can see it detects that and pushes it out. Now the thing that I don't know is whether or not it would work with the slime block, and that's what I am about to find out, I guess. Because I just don't know if there's any way to actually maintain that redstone signal, or if it's going to do that, and that's what it did. So yeah, if I switch this with sticky piston, let's see if that will still work if I use sticky pistons instead. So that kept it. Now, if I do this, it does not detect it. Did it? Was that just delayed? I'm kind of confused as to why that just did what it did. Because I mean, I could totally put one there and just have the stream further out so that I'd have the loss only on the first one. Maybe that's what I could do, is just have the sticky piston, because that still is working. I just need to have the update. But that would mean that it would only go when the first one goes. So maybe let's go ahead and set up that with some sticky pistons and slime blocks and see how that works. Yeah, we'll just leave that there. That can be a little tiny mini farm, I guess. So that means we are going to need quite a few sticky pistons. That means I'll probably be turning quite a few of those sticky pistons into sticky pistons. But I also need an equal amount of slime blocks, and I don't think I brought... How many slime blocks did I bring with me? Sorry, I'm just not sure what's in each chest here. Okay, let's hurry and go check. I know I'm back and forth between that other little storage place. I probably need to just move it on over here. You know what, can I catch the tail end of the night I'm just gonna try and keep the phantoms away for a moment. Oh. Well, Maker Baker, thank you for the follow. Gwiz, thank you for the lemons. He's about to play Counter-Strike. It's kind of tempting at the moment to play some Counter-Strike. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I did bring some extra slime blocks. That's good. I was about to say that could have been kind of a miserable thing if I didn't have those. There we go. Okay, so now the cactus farms that I'm going to be building in the center here, because I want 4 of them somewhat close together, and the bamboo farms out on the side. So I think I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not sure how much space I'm going to need for the cactus farms, but let's just try and give it enough space. Like, I have plenty of room here, so I'm just going to go from about here to the edge and make it a reasonable length. Now, I can go ahead and gather up that glass real quick that I just smelted with these pistons. Go ahead and put these back. Put some of that back for the time being. I'll just start popping that glass back in too. Okay, now sorry if I am not consistently talking the best right here. I'm just trying to think through things while I'm doing stuff here for a second. Because I actually need to use my brain for a moment here. So when I build this, these are going to be launching stuff out pretty fast. In my original test design, I did not use the slime blocks. but it was very wasteful of a design. So I think I'm actually going to build the water stream 2 away from that, and then I need, so it's 3, 4, so it'd be on the 5th block out. And then I probably want to do another block or 2 just on the back there if I need to troubleshoot. So let's just go ahead and start it, maybe right at the edge here, but centered. So this is the center right here. Okay. So that means I'm going to need to build the glass out on a certain level right up here in a moment. Okay, so we have, let's leave a couple of blocks for building like design and stuff. Then we have at least 3 blocks here, 4, 5. So at minimum I will be on this block. But still got some more room, so let's just give ourselves some more room to work behind it if we need for hoppers and stuff. And then this is going to be as wide as a redstone signal can be. So what we need is grab some redstone dust, and where did my other switch go? Did I put it over here? Or lever? Okay, let's do this for a second real quick. So I can't remember if it's 12 or... Okay, that's bad and probably not as effective as it would be to just do this too. So if I go ahead and power that. Shadow Sword, I have never heard someone that sounds exactly like me before, but that is interesting if you do. Okay, let's see now. So I can go out that far, which means that the redstone signal from the repeater... Sorry, this is involving way too much math for my brain right now. So the repeater goes into the block there, so it needs to be one end for the first sticky piston. So if we just go ahead and just put down a sticky piston as a marker on the correct block. So just one in here. Okay, and then if we go the other way. Or are you his friend there, Ice? I guess if anything like face swap ever happened, then you could be my soul impersonator. If you had the right build. Okay, so that's going to be the edges there for where the sticky pistons are. RU? What does RU mean? Is that some kind of short text for something else? What is RU? Here, I'm trying to think of even how to even find that Urban Dictionary. Let's see what it is. Country domain for Romania. That's probably not it. Part of the movement to reduce unnecessary letters and words. So it's just like, are you serious? Okay. So it's literally just like the straight up letters, are you? I'm sorry, I am not big on texting. Like, I have a phone and I text people and stuff. It's not like I'm super weird or anything, but I am just not big on those shorthand terms. Oh, the motherland, Russia? Thank you for the clarification there, Gwiz, because I was so confused. Okay, now I did 2 off the end on each one. Okay. Guys, the friends are calling me to go play some Counter-Strike. I guess if you are interested in watching some Counter-Strike, I could go ahead and move over. But I kind of was wanting to at least get this one farm done, so... Because if you're still watching, I probably will take a little bit longer here. Oh, it's a Russian flag emoji on your screen. Okay. Yeah, I generally play, I guess to kind of explain, I play Counter-Strike. I have streamed it in the past, but it wasn't as successful as my Minecraft streams. Although I probably didn't give it as much time as I've given Minecraft either, but I'm just kind of on a little Minecraft kick. So I don't even know exactly how tall I need to be building this glass wall here. But I'm going to build it tall enough that I can take out the 2 bottom blocks and still have a good farm going here. So I'm going to be building this so that it will at least have stuff going, so then I can build a water stream down below to catch everything. So maybe a couple more passes here. I will work on beautifying the farm later. It's just, I'm trying to get the bare necessities so I can get that infinite fuel supply going for my furnaces. So I can at least get some kind of XP, like a viable system for gaining XP here in this new area. Okay, I think this might be... I don't know, I can't decide on whether I need to do this pass or one more after this to have enough. Let's do one more just to be safe. It's kind of interesting because sometimes the chat on my screen kind of moves without anything actually happening. So, okay, anyway, this should be pretty quick now for the rest of this build. So I had decided over here that I need to have one space and then the rest of that. So we really only need here. You know what? Let's just test it real quick. So if I make a tiny little hole here, let's just make sure that this stuff falls in the hole. So if we do this, and then a block update here. Okay, so at least at the distance it did go over, but it didn't stay on the same block. So maybe do just a couple more just to make sure that if I do have stuff here, it doesn't end up in that little area there. This honestly isn't going to be a 100% efficient farm, but I just need it close enough, and I was too close right there. Literally. Okay, so if I do a block update here. Okay, so that kept it there. Okay, I think we may be safe with this distance here of just one block in front of that. It looks like it's just hitting the wall and staying there. So, that's good news for sure. We will go ahead... Okay, so that did just grow and it did just go. Ha ha ha, that rhymed. So you guys get for watching my stream. I'm gonna rhyme at you. I'm like the low-key rapper here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Just trying to find a decent place to place that from. Okay, that one ended up on top of the slime somehow. That one wanted to come up top again. Do I need to build like something just above that level? Okay, and that one did not make it all the way. So I think what I do is just on this solitary block area right there, I go ahead and place just the extra, like one out there, and then just have it cut back so I can still get that one block there. Okay, that's working good enough for me right now. And then maybe if I just place something right on top there, then I know that it's working, so. So it's going to be this shape on the collection level. But first we need to set up our water stream so that I know how high I even need to start at. So let's move these sticky pistons over out of the way of the water stream area. Because I still want these to mark out the proper sticky piston distance here. That's a little off, that's okay though. Okay, so I'm going to need a bucket of water and what should I use for the bottom there? So I was thinking about using some smooth stone in these builds, but smooth stone you have to smelt normal stone, so I think maybe what I'll do instead... Oh, and should I also have 2 collection sites? Because if I do that, then I could feed into the cactus easier, so I should probably actually do that and just have the high spot in the middle here. Which means I'm going to need one more bucket of water. Okay, let's see now. So, if I go here, these are the 2 center blocks. Now, as far as I know, it can go up to 7 blocks, but it slows down significantly after 4 or 5, so I'm probably going to try and keep the water streams a little bit small, and they only need to go out to this distance right here. So theoretically I would have a hopper with a chest here, and then, so I go, let's do 4 and call it good. We'll just see where that gets us. So that actually isn't that bad at all. Just a couple of levels there for the water. Or am I, did I off-center this really? So this is on center. Oh, never mind, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. There's the ones in the floor here. I was about to flip out on myself for no reason at all. So let's grab, just for the time being, we'll make a couple of chests. And grab a couple of hoppers. Oh, I'm going to need to make a bunch of hoppers here in a little bit. If I want to actually start an item transportation system. That was the main reason for all of the extra iron and wood, though, that I brought with me. So I'm going to eventually get a wood farm set up, but I need to figure out some other things with that real quick first. Oh no, probably one of the most exciting things for me was the fact that we now have that dynamite doesn't destroy everything. Right, so I can actually make a dynamite-based wood farm without having to like try and move all the stuff around and everything. Anyway, looks like we'll have just a little bit longer here. Let's see, I went out to this distance here, I believe, with the water. Probably should have gone all the way to the chest, honestly. If I didn't. Okay, so then that means that this level that I'm on right here, I shouldn't build that up because it's actually going to be where the first level is going to sit. And it's also going to have that little cutout on... Oop. Of course I went super fast there. It didn't catch anything at all, really. Okay, so... is cheese in Spanish? Okay, right here this is going to actually be moved out a couple. Like that, so that I can fit the mycelium how I need it. Because I'm going to be building this with mycelium. I got all kinds of mycelium. Let's go ahead and get 2 more hoppers and make a couple more chests if that's how it's going to sit. We'll see if the water stream wants to push items, how that works. It may or may not want to go around that corner, I'm not sure. If it is a problem, then I'll probably just figure out some other little tiny fix, like an extra mini water stream or something. It's not the best design, but I'm just trying to make this as efficient as I can with the knowledge that I have, without doing a bunch of extra testing of everything. I'm trying to keep my research costs at a minimum here. Let's see, so we got that. Should have done this first, but let's go ahead and do this real quick. And then this right here. One of the cool new things that they updated that I haven't really heard much about in any of the Minecraft stuff as well is the fact that the chests, you can now place them separately. So like if I place it correctly on that other side, then I can have 2 normal chests together, and it used to be that you have to have normal and a trap next to it if you wanted to have like a bunch of chests, like if I had another row of chests here. But that's just not even a thing anymore, and I don't know why it was a thing in the first place, honestly. Because it's just such a nice little feature to have that, right? Okay, now on this level, I don't think we actually are going to be growing anything from here over. So we can remove that. We'll just let that piece of dirt become mycelium. And a little bit more. It honestly doesn't matter, dirt, mycelium. I think that even with bamboo on it, the dirt will turn into mycelium. As long as I have a little bit of mycelium there, so I can go either way. Pretty easy. Okay, let's do this now. Okay, so that goes over a little bit, but that's not a concern because I'll just wrap the glass around here as well as on the other side. And it looks like that's going to be just fine at getting the... Why is this here? Oh, I used that to get up, never mind. It doesn't look like I'm going to get anything stuck, I don't think. Although it is moving too fast over that. Because it didn't have time to pick it up in the hoppers. Really? So how many actually went into the chest? We got some in the chest, but some were totally missed. So I guess I actually just need to be smart and do that. And the chest will still work because it's a transparent block right there. So then if I do it again, just toss the entire stack of 45. Then we should have 45 in the chest right here. In just a minute. So we'll go ahead and... Oh, you know what? I needed that glass. Brilliant. Actually, I have plenty of glass here. Never mind. This is my life, guys. I think and then I don't think. And then I think and then I don't think. It's amazing that as humans we've ever made it as far as we have with our capabilities. Because humans can be super crazy smart and then they can be super crazy dumb. Anyway, we got the 45, so that did work. Just that simple little fix there. And who knows, maybe that will help speed it up, just having the second hopper there. I don't know. So we'll hope. Now, oh, it was on this level right here that I need to remove that. Okay, and we'll start building the base for this thing. Now, if I can make this jump, we'll just go ahead and travel through it up. It's going to be kind of an interesting build to work on. So if this is where the bamboo grows, this can be any kind of block right here. Just doesn't matter, so we'll just go ahead and use some stone for the time being. And then right here, so that's going to be the piston directly right here, which means that the pistons are going to sit on this level. So here, very, very soon, I should have my first little bit of a working bamboo farm. And once that's done, I probably will call that good for the time being. Man, how's that? Sorry, I'm just noticing some stuff with my stream right here on the side. Because I have an extra computer going so I can kind of track stuff. And for some reason my actual DLive dashboard is behind where my laptop that's monitoring the stream is at. So I don't know how they make that work, but that is kind of funky that it's not all working the same. Okay, and then I'm gonna need just a couple of normal pistons because I don't want to waste a sticky piston on a place that just doesn't matter. And we're gonna grab some bamboo. I'd probably just grab way too much, but it just doesn't matter. Oh, and I did not grab the repeaters. It's all that I need to get these T flip-flops working. Of course, I forgot the one thing that I needed. For sure. And we'll get that out of the way too. Okay, so this level right here gets a normal one. This one gets a sticky piston. And then we're going to go sticky all the way across. Okay, how much further until right here? Let's go ahead and put that one down. Okay, now with this here, you can go ahead and put down, so that's going to get 2. 3 is going to be up, and then on top here, all the way across. Okay, and now, let's see, I need to hurry and place the one here. So these 2 are here. This gets up, 1, there we go. Okay, now for the last little bit of redstone here, so we have 1 here. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the redstone blocks. But we can get everything but that put in real quick. Okay, that should be everything except for the redstone blocks now, since I forgot a second item. And then the bamboo, and we're all done. And then I should have a working farm that I can start doing stuff with. So put that one there. This one here. Now I should probably put a light source in here somewhere. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because there's no hostile mobs that can spawn here, right? I'm so used to building in a dangerous area that I didn't even think of the fact that that just doesn't even matter in the current area. Okay, cool. And that is the first level complete. I will probably make at least 1 more on top of this, just stacked up above with another 2 out in front. So 1, 2. So in total an 8 flip-flop, T flip-flop setup, with 1 more on the other side spaced out the same distance. Wow, that one stock is growing really fast. I'm just trying to make sure that this all, because it's dependent on that first block growing, the one that's closest in. I just want to make sure that it at least goes 1 time. I'm pretty sure that went, but it... Oh, I forgot the slime blocks. Ha 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 ha. I am so smart, SMRT. Holy cow. I'm a Minecraft pro, guys. Okay, let's do that, and then just hurry and move it out of the way real fast. Oh boy, this is gonna get epic here. Because I gotta build all the way across this, and it's gonna update on every single block. Or not. Is that making them all go now? Why is that redstone signal not going? What? Oh, because they're slime blocks. Okay, so for example, if I did them in smaller chunks, that would work, but... So like if I do this, then it would work every other one. Easy. Yeah, you see what I did? I just accidentally created a monster. Oh no, I broke it. Oh boy. Okay, well that should be an easy fix because those are all sticky pistons. And I am just not being the smartest person in the world, so all I need to do is remove all of the slime blocks and call it good. If I can get up here though. I mean, this thing has gone crazy on me. Holy cow. This is so bad. This is what I get for not thinking through things completely clearly. So I'm distracted and thinking, okay, I'm almost done with the stream. But yeah, I should never think like that, because this is... Oh my, this is gonna be like a hyperactive child. I mean, seriously, with all the growth updates that this thing can detect. Okay, now it should work. Because I honestly didn't need anything other than glass there to make it work okay. So now it's just dependent on that first block growing, and then we should actually be able to see some action here. Let's go ahead and see if this is a workable design. As the night falls. I guess you know what, I'll know if it worked if the stuff is broken, so let me hurry and go sleep just so I know that I've slept recently. Until I can get some cats over here, then I do still have to worry about phantoms during the night is all. Oh, nice quiz. Well, I will be off just as soon as I verify that this is working. And I have a design that I can start to duplicate. Wow, why am I not flying? And why did I get that really weird audio right there? Did I take out? No, that's there, but that one's pushed out for some reason, so it's not going to update. Man, trying to troubleshoot this is so entertaining. So it's interesting to me how some of them have grown so much faster than the other ones. Because there's ones that are like growing like super high already, and there's ones that have barely done anything. That's why I'm going to build so many modules of this, because we'll have a total of 8 per side, so like a 16 T flip-flop setup, which should produce bamboo at a mad rate. Like I had an 8 setup that was pretty wasteful, and trying to think of how many it was actually doing. Like it was going pretty crazy. This setup, now that I think about it, like for some reason Like, totally forgot the entire reason why I was putting the sticky blocks on there. So, okay, so that did work. That's good. One other quick change that I think I will do is just go ahead and intersperse. Why did that not stay? Okay, it just doesn't want to accept the slime blocks now. Okay, well let's just do that and see if when it goes off again, if it will even keep that for me. Because I'm hoping that if I can at least get a few slime blocks interspersed here, then I can get them to stick to the glass when it sets off. So let's just set it off ourselves. No, it is not holding on to that. Man, okay. Well, let's try one other thing real quick then. If I go ahead and just take this out, just turn the thing off for a moment, and then try spacing out the slime blocks, we'll see if that actually works. Because what I'm hoping is that if I get the slime blocks interspersed with the glass, then the glass itself won't stick together, but the slime blocks will stick to the glass and help me out here to get them to actually launch the stuff a little further. It might not, it might, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just trying to do stuff and see if it sticks. I don't know if this actually does work, then maybe I'll make a YouTube video on it or something. Sorry about the delay here, Gwiz. Oh, perfect. That worked out to just the perfect length to have them every 2 on that. So now let's see if I can manage to sneak around this bamboo and collect all the glass that I just broke, so I won't be wasteful with that at least. So I am wasting my time a little bit here. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's try this out now. So now if I go ahead and place a couple of redstone blocks, is this actually going to work when it does the detections? Oh, this is just such a... I don't know, it's just one of those things, like working on redstone devices, once they're done, they're great. Working on them can be mildly infuriating. Okay, so it did exactly what I was hoping it wouldn't do, and it messed that up. Oh, looks like Ashley and Parker are home. Welcome home, bud. How was Grandma's house? Okay, well maybe that's a good point to end the stream anyway. And I will have to revise this. Maybe I'll just get rid of the sticky pistons in general. Because I don't know. I guess... Here, let me try one other thing. So as far as I know, sticky pistons can push like 12 blocks or something like that. So what happens if I just get rid of some of these sticky pistons here? So we say I do... Oh boy, I didn't want to get rid of all the stone. Okay, now that is sticking the glass to it, which is good. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5. And then 5 on the other side. Where is dead center? Right here? So we for sure want these 2 gone.
Mommy.
Oh, Parker. Here, just a minute, bud. Looks like he's ready for a snack even though it's his bedtime. 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we'll just do it like this. We need to reset everything now. So right now it's basically turned itself off. Here, just a second, Parker. How am I going to set that off like that? Okay, for some reason that's just permanently turned on for the moment, so let's just undo this. Put a new one back in that same spot. Undo that, put one here.
No.
Why did you get activated again? Seriously? Is it gonna do it again just because? We got something weird going on this side. Okay, let's try this again real quick. Because I do not want that activated yet. And I don't want that one activated either, so I guess I'll just remove that in general. Okay, and we'll remove this. Okay, I think I'm finally onto the right track. Oh, thank you for the lemons, Squiz. Holy cow. Thank you for being patient too. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it might just make it. I don't know. What I need to do though is keep this middle part in track and just put glass in the very middle. There's glass at all, it needs to be on that very center. Otherwise I might just have to take that center block out and just not use it. So technically it should be able to work from either end, so I could probably even have an even cleaner design. Let's do that real quick. We'll just do a super clean design. It doesn't make any sense not to have it on this edge right here. I don't know why I do things the way I do them sometimes, but because just this way I know that the redstone doesn't even have to go that far, honestly. So I can even just save on redstone here, which is going to be helpful in the long run. Hello there, babe. I am very nearly done. I just gotta verify that this works now. I'm just trying to be a mad scientist right now. A mad YouTuber. Okay, let's try this out now. So if I break this sugarcane block update, that broke everything except for the very middle too. I'm pretty sure over here on this side it would do the same thing. Okay, so that's not too horrible. That does mean that I can actually move it down one more space because I'm not using, I'm pretty sure I'm not using this one right here. Oh wait, no, those did break. Wait, is it moving the glass? Here, let's see. So if this is moving, then it should also move, it shouldn't move that. Okay, well if it is moving, let's just put some bamboo here in the middle. And we'll just do some block updates just to make sure that it is actually breaking that. So we got this one here. Yeah, it broke it. Cool, that's working. Awesome. And the only loss that we have so far is the one on that one that's not sticky. The rest of them are all good. So it's not 100% efficient, but it is pretty dang close. It's close enough for me. It's like, I don't know, that's gotta be, what is that, 2 out of, how long is it? 24 almost, I think? 25? 26. 26 would be an even number. So it's probably about 26 long. 2 out of 26, what percentage is that? Here, I'm going to be a nerd and look at that so I can kind of get a fix on how efficient it would theoretically be. Real quick, where's my calculator? That's 1 out of 13, or like 90, pretty much 92% efficient theoretically. And just in this little short while that I've been working on it, like literally the very short while that I've been here, already got 45 on one side, 34 on the other. I think this is going to be, once I get it all the way set up, I'll go ahead and test it again. I'm hoping to break 800 at least. But for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream. Looks like we finally have a successful design. It required way less pistons than I was originally thinking it would because of the slime block trick. It still has the update because of this first little block, and that is the only block where we are theoretically losing anything. But it is also the one that decides when the rest of it goes. So these ones in the middle here, they're gonna be able to grow as tall as they want. I might have to go ahead and see how tall they can get. Just cap it. Like this one is at 4. I don't remember how much space I'll have in between them. It may only be... Let's think about that real quick. So if I have another row, then I need a space plus a piston. I guess I could space them out as far as I want them, but maybe I'll do 3 or 4 there. Just to allow the ones that do randomly grow faster time to grow. Because this one still hasn't gone yet. This one's gone a couple of times since I've been watching it. This one I don't think has gone. Oh, there it went. And that one was at 4. And that was actually high enough that they fell on top. So maybe we actually cut it down a little sooner. Or what we do to give us the best chance, because it's when they grow higher that that's not going to be 100% efficient. So maybe we'll put some non-movable blocks like leaves or something on the inside, just to try and help it out. Yeah, who knows? I'll look into it. We'll play around with it some more next stream, but I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Time to put Parker to bed, and then I'll probably head over to CSGO. Thank you for joining the stream. Props to Gwiz, you're awesome. I will see you guys next time.